The dozen or so experts from the Wind Lightning Pavilion were left speechless by Xiao Yan's bold intervention. They had witnessed the scene unfold, seeing Wang Chen, a member of the formidable Yellow Spring Pavilion, act with impunity. They understood the delicate situation with Confronting Zun Zhe, a powerful figure from the Yellow Spring Pavilion, present in the VIP section. Any direct confrontation would be unwise, till they had chosen to turn a blind eye to Wang Chen's actions. However, Xiao Yan's unexpected and seemingly naive interference left them bewildered. Could it be that this Wang Chen, whom they considered untouchable, was actually not as powerful as they assumed? They dared not voice their suspicions, knowing Wang Chen's reputation for ruthlessness. Though Xiao Yan's actions were technically against the rules, they couldn't deny the sense of justice he had brought to the situation. Wang Chen, however, remained unfazed. His arrogance knew no bounds. He sneered, his voice dripping with disdain. "He's just trash who got lucky. It's no big deal if I kill him. What's so great about that?" His words were a blatant disregard for Xiao Yan's intervention and a clear indication of his belief in his own immunity. Lin Yan, fueled by righteous anger, instinctively moved to confront the insolent Wang Chen. However, Xiao Yan, with a firm grip on his arm, stopped him. Confused, Lin Yan stared at Xiao Yan, surprised by his restraint. In his mind, Xiao Yan was not the type to tolerate such blatant disrespect. Xiao Yan, with a knowing smile, directed his gaze back at the increasingly agitated Wang Chen. "It seems the Yellow Spring Pavilion breeds only such arrogant fools. You survived this long by clinging to the reputation of your pavilion. There's no point in being so conceited." He too couldn't stand this arrogant and self-entitled man. The gazes of the other competitors in the arena, seasoned veterans of the battlefield, swept over Xiao Yan, their brows furrowing with disdain. A collective murmur of reckless people echoed through the air as they dismissed him. On the surface, Xiao Yan's strength was meticulously suppressed to the 8-star Du Huang level, a deliberate disguise. His current spiritual strength was so potent that even a seasoned expert like Fei Tian would struggle to perceive his true power, let alone these competitors. However, there was one exception. Her beautiful eyebrows, slightly knit, fell upon Xiao Yan for the first time. An uncanny feeling, a sense of familiarity stirred within her. A cold, sardonic laughter escaped Xiao Yan's lips. As the younger generation, you have no right to discuss what Yellow Spring Pavilion is like. Whose disciple are you? Tell this old one. By being able to teach arrogant students, it seems like your teacher also has some abilities, right? This audacious retort caught the attention of Confronting Zun Zhe, seated in the center of the stadium. His aged eyes, filled with a chilling coldness, fixed upon Xiao Yan. His faint voice laced with an undercurrent of displeasure. "Whose disciple are you?" Confronting Zun Zhe, a formidable Dao Zun sized up Xiao Yan, his gaze sharp and piercing. Surprise flickered in his eyes as he instantly recognized that this young man's appearance was deliberately altered. However, what truly startled him was the inexplicable aura surrounding Xiao Yan, a feeling of incompleteness. As he attempted to delve deeper, a wall of intense flames, like a blazing inferno, blocked his senses. Despite the impediments, his ancient sharp eyes could still discern that Xiao Yan's strength was likely at least at the peak of the Du Huang class. The sheer impossibility of his senses being blocked by a mere Dao Huang, a mere member of the younger generation, left Confronting Zun Zhe stunned. It was a humiliating revelation that he, a Dao Zun, was unable to fathom the true strength of a junior. The sudden intervention of Confronting Zun Zhe, a formidable Dao Zun master, caught Xiao Yan off guard. His brows knitted slightly as he realized these elders were stepping into a competition meant for the younger generation. Undeterred, Xiao Yan cupped his hands and responded with unwavering confidence. "Confronting Zun Zhe, you overestimate my abilities. I am simply stating the obvious. My friend has conceded defeat, yet the other party persists with a lethal attack, directly violating the competition rules. The 3 Dao Zun masters present witnessed this transgression. I believe everyone here understands who is right and who is wrong." The crowd gasped, amazed by Xiao Yan's composure in the face of 4 elite Dao Zuns, each a force to be reckoned with, capable of manipulating the elements with a flick of their wrist. His words, defying the expectations of Lei Zunji and the others, further fueled their curiosity. However, before any retort, Confronting Zun Zhe's expression hardened, his voice turning icy. Mere words hold no power. Lei Zunji, settle this trivial matter and do not obstruct the competition's progress. Lei Zunjin, a master of political maneuvering, remained impassive, his finger gently tapping the armrest. With a faint smile, he turned to Feng Zun Zhe and Jian Zunjie. What do you two suggest we do?" This cunning old man understood the delicate situation. He knew siding with Wang Chen would seem biased, damaging the reputation of the Wind Lightning Pavilion. Conversely, inaction could lead to the wrath of Confronting Zun Zhe. Therefore, he skillfully deflected the responsibility, throwing this hot potato onto Feng Zun Zhe and Jian Zunji's plates. In the midst of a tense and controversial competition, Feng Zun Zhe, renowned for his stern and unforgiving demeanor, proposed a harsh punishment for a rule-violating participant. However, Feng Zun Zhe and Jian Zunji, two seasoned and respected figures, intervened to challenge his verdict. Feng Zun Zhe argued that randomly punishing the offender without due consideration could damage Lin Zunji's reputation for fairness. Jian Zunji, known for his pragmatic approach, suggested a compromise, reasoning that the offender had acted out of understandable motives and that Wang Chen's actions had shown blatant disregard for the competition's rules. The severity of punishment, they emphasized, should not be disproportionate to the offense. Lin Zunji, despite being the host, found himself torn between his desire to maintain discipline and the persuasive arguments of his peers. As the grand meeting progressed, it became clear that Feng Zun Zhe's uncompromising stance was increasingly isolated, while Feng Zun Zhe and Jian Zunji's more lenient approach gained wider acceptance. The air crackled with tension as Feng Zun Zhe's face contorted into a mask of rage upon witnessing Lin Zunji's dismissive expression. His gaze, cold and sharp as ice, scanned Xiao Yan, who had finally found a moment of relief within the arena. A flicker of cruelty danced in his eyes, a dark promise of retribution. But before the situation could spiral further, a calm voice, tinged with the cold authority of a Daozun, cut through the growing anxiety. Since you believe Wang Chen's persistence stems solely from the support of my Yellow Spring Pavilion, the voice emanating from the figure of Feng Zun Zhe continued, this esteemed self will offer you a chance to test your strength against him. You can part with your friends, regardless of the outcome. What say you? Feng Zun Zhe's words sent ripples of shock through the stadium. A murmur of disbelief and confusion spread among the assembled crowd. Even Xiao Yan, his brow furrowed in disapproval, found himself questioning the old man's motives. Where was the magnanimity expected of an elite Daozun? Lin Yan, his expression betraying his concern, quickly pulled Xiao Yan, his intention clear, to leave this unsettling situation behind. Don't bother with this stubborn old fool, he urged. Let's go. He understood Wang Chen's prowess too well. Only the likes of Feng King-er and a select few could truly stand against him. Wang Chen, however, relished the opportunity to further provoke Xiao Yan. A wicked grin spread across his face as his bright red tongue darted out to lick his sharp dagger. If you lack the courage to face me, he sneered, then kneel before your master and offer 3 kowtows. That will be the end of this matter. Otherwise, you leave this place over my dead body. The tension in the arena tightened to an almost unbearable degree. Xiao Yan, his pitch-black eyes locked onto Wang Chen and his hands clenched in a fist beneath his sleeves, weighed his options. Should he engage in this pointless conflict? Or should he walk away? All eyes in the arena fixated on Xiao Yan, seeking a glimpse into his thoughts. The crowd, their hearts pounding with anticipation, hoped he would choose to confront Wang Chen, their desire for a spectacle overshadowing any concerns for his well-being. They wanted to see this young man perceived as arrogant and defiant, humbled by the might of Wang Chen. Finally, after a tense silence that stretched on, Xiao Yan's shoulders slumped in resignation. He drew a deep breath, his voice tight with frustration. Xiao Yan, just don't be reckless. Lin Yan begged, his expression filled with worry, as he saw the young man's decision to engage in this potentially fatal encounter. Xiao Yan's unwavering spirit surged as he broke free from Lin Yan's grip and uttered with assurance, rest easy. Those from the Inner Academy are not to be underestimated compared to mere members of the Yellow Spring Pavilion. With a measured step forward, Xiao Yan's gaze locked onto Wang Chen, his simple words igniting the fervor within the assembled crowd. The stadium erupted in thunderous applause, a testament to Xiao Yan's courage in confronting Wang Chen's challenge head-on. From his elevated perch in the VIP area, Feng Zun Zhe's tree-like face bore a smug smile. Despite Xiao Yan's enigmatic nature, he placed his trust in Wang Chen, whose abilities had soared after the Heaven Mountain Blood Pool's enhancements. With the potential to ascend to the Duzong class, Wang Chen's strength was formidable, even amidst seasoned Daozongs. Teasingly, Feng Zun Zhe turned to Lin Zunji and inquired about the slight delay in the competition schedule. Lin Zunji's smile betrayed no disapproval, acknowledging Feng Zun Zhe's slight show of favor. While acknowledging Xiao Yan's uniqueness, Lin Zunji secretly dismissed him as inferior to the esteemed Zun Zhe. Nonetheless, Lin Zunji granted him a moment of respite, a gesture of respect to Feng Zun Zhe. Hopefully this won't be unduly protracted, Feng Zun Zhe remarked, his attention returning to Wang Chen. Since you initiated this affair, it is your duty to resolve it. The repercussions of failure are well known to you. Wang Chen's hand, clutching the pitch-black dagger, trembled slightly as Wang Zun Zhe's words reverberated in the air. With a savage smile blooming on his face, he bowed low, his voice dripping with malice. Master, be assured, this disciple will make this wretch who has dared to defile the sanctity of Yellow Spring Pavilion pay the ultimate price. Wang Zun Zhe, leaning back against his backrest, gave a slow, knowing nod, his gaze fixed on the arena where Xiao Yan stood. Ji and Zun Zhe and Feng Zun Zhe, witnessing this exchange, couldn't help but furrow their brows, their gazes lingering on Xiao Yan with a mixture of curiosity and apprehension. They knew pushing Wang Zun Zhe any further would likely result in an explosive outburst, so they remained silent, their hearts heavy with the impending storm. The competitors, sensing the shift in the atmosphere, hastily retreated, their eyes fixated on the young man in the center. Xiao Yan, who dared to accept Wang Chen's challenge, was a mystery to them. Was he foolishly overconfident, or did he possess a hidden strength that they were unaware of? Feng Kinger, her brows furrowed, observed Xiao Yan from afar. A strand of black hair fell across her forehead as doubt clouded her beautiful eyes. The competition had come to a screeching halt, yet the tension at the mountain peak was palpable. The roars of the crowd, fueled by a mixture of anticipation and morbid curiosity, only amplified the charged atmosphere. The question hanging in the air was one of survival, of spectacle. Would Xiao Yan emerge from this encounter unscathed, or would he become a gruesome testament to Wang Chen's ruthless strength? The crowd, eager for a dramatic showdown, waited with bated breath, their gazes locked on the two figures in the arena, their lives poised on the edge of a knife. Lin Yan paced anxiously, his hands trembling as he watched Xiao Yan approach the arena. A sense of trepidation washed over him, for he sensed Xiao Yan's aura surpassed his own. Wang Chen, their formidable opponent, stood at the pinnacle of the Du Huang class, rumored to possess the strength to challenge elite Du Zongs. What troubled Lin Yan even more was Wang Chen's ruthless nature, leaving his opponents crippled or worse. The prospect of Xiao Yan facing such a merciless adversary filled him with apprehension. If this vile man dares to harm Xiao Yan, I will not hesitate to intercede, even at the cost of my own life. Lin Yan vowed fiercely, his teeth clenched tight and eyes ablaze with determination. He held Xiao Yan in high regard, and their bond was unbreakable. Should any harm befall his friend, Lin Yan would not stand idly by. Wang Chen's dark eyes fixed upon Xiao Yan as he approached, stopping a short distance away. The daggers in Wang Chen's grasp whirled rapidly, before settling firmly in his hands. Surrender now and prostrate yourself 3 times, and I may spare your life, Wang Chen declared mockingly. Xiao Yan met Wang Chen's malevolent gaze with a serene smile. Dao Qi erupted from his body, coalescing into a vibrant jade-green energy ruler in his palm. The heavy swan ruler was too conspicuous to bring, but the energy ruler shared a similar imposing presence while maintaining a degree of anonymity. Wang Chen's sinister grin widened as Xiao Yan ignored his taunts. The murderous glint in his eyes intensified with each passing moment. Wang Chen, brimming with fury over the offense against Yellow Spring Pavilion, made an ominous threat, causing Wang Chen's body to transform into a black rainbow. With lightning-fast reflexes, he materialized behind Xiao Yan, dagger poised to strike 2 vital spots, the neck and the back of the heart. However, Xiao Yan was not one to be caught off guard. The jade-green energy ruler emitted a shoo sound, appearing behind his back and effortlessly blocking the dagger attack. Unfazed by the failed attempt, Wang Chen unleashed a torrent of black-colored Dao Qi, imbued with a chilling aura that transformed into 2 massive black pythons. These pythons slithered around the energy ruler, aiming their venomous fangs towards Xiao Yan's head. Yet, a fist of wind accompanied by a resounding sonic boom intercepted the pythons, shattering them into nothingness. Xiao Yan's energy ruler surged forward with a shoo and unleashed a powerful sonic boom, forcing Wang Chen to retreat. With a confident smile, Xiao Yan rested the heavy ruler on his shoulders, remarking, "You are just ordinary." Wang Chen's eyes burned with renewed ferocity at Xiao Yan's dismissive tone. "This is just a warm-up," he retorted, his crimson tongue licking his dagger. Dark black ink-like Dao Qi erupted from his body like an enormous pillar, surpassing the strength of even the peak Dao Huang class. Wang Chen's aura now exudes the power of quasi-elite Dao Zong, a significant step above his previous peak Dao Huang level. While still short of a genuine elite Dao Zong, his current strength eclipses many other Dao Huang experts. This transformation has elicited exclamations of awe and envy from onlookers, recognizing his remarkable achievement of crossing half the vast chasm between Double Huang and Tu Zong. Yet Feng Qinger, Mu King Luan, and Tang Ying, who have also experienced the benefits of the Heaven Mountain Blood Pool, remain unfazed by Wang Chen's advancement. Xiao Yan, however, acknowledges Wang Chen's formidable power and notes the significant improvement since their encounter in the Heaven Eye Mountain range. He realizes that the Heaven Mountain Blood Pool has played a crucial role in this breakthrough. Despite his newfound strength, Wang Chen remains consumed by a fierce determination, his face contorted with a chilling expression. Xiao Yan recognizes the need for a swift conclusion to this battle, aware of the potential risks of prolonging the engagement. Just as Xiao Yan had steeled his resolve, Wang Chen, his aura now at its zenith, unleashed a savage grin. His body surged forward, the corrosive force radiating from his surface, carving a deep ravine into the ground. Bone-eroding dance of round daggers. He roared, his voice echoing across the arena. Wang Chen's speed was a blur, a stark contrast to his previous movements. In an instant, he was before Xiao Yan, his twin daggers transforming into a whirlwind of black light, leaving scars even in the air. The daggers danced with a bizarre, erratic grace, encasing Xiao Yan in a web of death, their chilling aura sinking into his very core. Xiao Yan's eyes narrowed, recognizing a power behind Wang Chen's attack. This was a high-level Dao skill, its potency unmistakable. Yellow Spring Pavilion, one of the 4 great pavilions, lived up to its reputation. Body-flowing master with 6 fusions, Xiao Yan countered, his own power surging. The heavy ruler in his hand moved with lightning speed, blurring into a multitude of shadows, forming a dense shield that enveloped him. Clang, clang, clang. Black light rained down on the ruler's shield, each strike producing a clear ringing sound that reverberated throughout the arena. With each clang, a shockwave of pure energy erupted, spiderwebbing the silver wood floor with hairline cracks. The onlookers gasped in astonishment. No one had expected Xiao Yan to hold his own against Wang Chen, especially not at his peak. The doubt that had lingered in some minds dissipated. Xiao Yan's decision to accept the duel was far from reckless. He possessed the strength and the skill to match his opponent. The battle had just begun, and the arena, now a stage of clashing wills and raw power, awaited the next act. In the VIP section, Feng Zun Zhe's countenance turned grim, the smile vanishing from his face. Xiao Yan's aura surged relentlessly, surpassing Wang Chen's within a heartbeat and continuing to ascend. Feng Zun Zhe, Lai Zun Zhe, and Jian Zun Zhe were caught off guard, their expressions clouded. They realized that Xiao Yan had been concealing his true strength. Now, the tables seemed to be turning against Wang Chen. A hint of amusement crept across Feng and Jian Zun Zhe's faces at the thought. Meanwhile, the battleground witnessed further surprises. The ruler shadows surrounding Xiao Yan dissolved, and a formidable aura erupted, dwarfing Wang Chen's. The Dao Kai shattered Wang Chen's dagger web effortlessly, and a blazing flame ignited at the ruler's tip. 6-joint body-flowing ruler, 6-joint fire. The 6-joint body-flowing ruler comprised 3 levels: splitting fire, body-flowing fire, and 6-joint fire. Each level represented a significant increase in power. Xiao Yan had rarely unleashed the attacking technique of the 6-joint body-flowing ruler, prioritizing its defensive capabilities. However, that did not diminish its offensive potential. If wielded skillfully, its offensive might outshine even the flame-splitting tsunami. Xiao Yan's recent breakthrough to the Duzong class has significantly enhanced his abilities, including his mastery of the 6-joint body-flowing ruler. Previously, his use of the ruler was limited to its splitting fire technique due to his strength constraints. However, his newfound Duzong status has enabled him to advance to the 6-joint fire level of the technique. This transformation represents a substantial advantage, as the gap between a Daozong and a Du Huang is immense. While Dao Huangs may possess formidable trump cards, challenging a Duzong at the class peak would often result in a disastrous outcome. Xiao Yan's utilization of the 6-joint fire marks the first time he has employed this technique since his Daozong breakthrough. Despite its unpredictable power, it is certain to surpass the destructive force of his flame-splitting tsunami technique. The flame that emerges on the ruler's surface is not a true flame, but rather a manifestation of the highly compressed Dao Qi within Xiao Yan's body. This unique form of Du Qi compression, possible only due to his Daozong class, further enhances the 6-joint body-flowing ruler's potency. The unassuming greenish-brown flame clung tenaciously to the ruler's tip, like a flickering specter that threatened to extinguish with a single breath. Yet, when swung with the ruler's effortless grace, this minuscule flame transformed into an incomparably sharp blade, tearing a finger-width gash in the air. The ruler's swift motion was devoid of the deafening sonic boom or any other extraordinary phenomenon. Instead, an eerie silence enveloped the air, akin to the stillness before a volcanic eruption. It was this seemingly gentle swing that caused the complexions of all present, those with an inkling of martial prowess, to shift. Tang Ying, Lu King Luan, and even the enigmatic Feng King are displaying a somber realization in their eyes, their expressions a mix of disbelief and shock as they regarded Xiao Yan. An elite Daozong, the unspoken question hung heavy in the air, for despite Xiao Yan's youthful appearance, the aura emanating from his body was unmistakable. He had ascended to the ranks of the elite Daozongs. Feng Kinger's delicate brows knit together, her enigmatic gaze fixed upon Xiao Yan. The strange familiarity that had drawn her attention earlier intensified as Xiao Yan's aura fully erupted. Her keen senses detected a deeper connection, a feeling that hinted at history and unknown. Meanwhile, the vast crowd in the stadium erupted in a collective gasp. Their initial skepticism towards Xiao Yan's victory had evaporated, replaced by a grudging admiration. Wang Chen, their long-acclaimed quasi-Daozong, had been surpassed by the unassuming Xiao Yan. And what lay beyond quasi-Daozong? Only one answer whispered through the crowd's minds: Daozong. Xiao Yan's revelation of his true strength sent shockwaves through the arena. The quasi-prefix had been dropped, indicating a vast chasm between him and everyone else. Lin Yan, seated at the edge, was astounded, recalling Xiao Yan's mere Du Wang rank upon leaving the Jiama Empire. In just a few years, he had soared to the Daozong level, a growth rate that defied comprehension. Lin Yan, a 4-star double Huang, had only achieved his strength through an ancestral inheritance. Xiao Yan's progress made his own seem insignificant. Despite initially estimating Xiao Yan's strength as equal to Wang Chen's, Lin Yan was stunned to witness his true Daozong status. Wang Chen, with the backing of the formidable Yellow Spring Pavilion, had only reached the quasi-Daozong level. The realization dawned on him that Xiao Yan's acceptance of Wang Chen's challenge was not an act of recklessness, but testament to his overwhelming power. The revelation of Xiao Yan's true strength as a Daozong sent shockwaves through the esteemed observers present. Lai Zunji, Feng Zun Zhe, and Jian Zunji could not conceal their astonishment, realizing that this young man possessed either extraordinary talent or formidable backing. Jian Zunji acknowledged the gravity of the situation, believing Wang Chen to be outmatched. However, Huan Quan Zunji remained skeptical, dismissing Jian Zunji's assessment as premature. Jian Zunji met Huan Quan Zunji's challenge with a confident smirk, determined to witness the outcome that would prove his prediction correct. Meanwhile, within the arena, the atmosphere took a perilous turn. Wang Chen's initial complacency crumbled as Xiao Yan's silent ruler attack triggered a surge of fear deep within him. His crimson eyes reflected a desperate realization that he could face severe consequences if he failed to prevail in this battle. The darkness within Wang Chen consumed him, unleashing a primal fury that shook the arena. As the blood vessels on his skin erupted, crimson rivulets painted his body, marking his transformation into a monstrous beast. The Yellow Spring blood skill ignited his aura like a fiery arrow, while his eyes turned an ominous black. Dark energy surged from him, radiating an aura of untamed savagery, making it resemble an ancient predator. Fear gripped Tang Ying and her comrades as they witnessed this grotesque transformation. Lunacy! They exclaimed in unison. Undeterred, Wang Chen clenched his fist, his body trembling with the intensity of his power. Dark energy coalesced, forming a menacing entity that emanated a pungent stench of decay. His arm transformed into a jet-black appendage, the embodiment of the Yellow Spring Rotten Corpse arm. As it shot forth with a deafening roar, the arena itself seemed to wither and crumble beneath its touch, its silverwood structure reduced to a decaying relic. A horrified gasp rippled through the crowd as they recognized the renowned Dao skill of the Yellow Spring Pavilion, a testament to Wang Chen's desperation and reckless pursuit of victory. Amidst the thunderous exclamations echoing outside the arena, a figure plummeted from the sky, its silhouette trailing an ethereal wisp of verdant flames. As it descended, it collided with a powerful black arm, the impact reverberating with an ear-splitting boom. Xiao Yan's lips curled into a glacial smirk, and a thread of glazed lotus core flame coursed through the ruler into its core before exploding outward. The deafening collision unleashed an earthquake-like energy ripple that tore through the Silverwood arena, leaving behind a gaping pit and a growing network of cracks. Silver wood fragments danced through the air like a glittering storm, the sunlight painting them with an iridescent glow. From this tempest, a figure burst free, slamming into the arena with such force that it carved a 100-meter-long trench. The stadium fell into an eerie silence as countless gazes fixated on the black silhouette buried within the shattered wood. Wang Chen struggled to his feet, but a torrent of blood erupted from his mouth. Summoning his Dao Qi, he was met with waves of agonizing pain surging through his body. To his horror, he realized that a scorching jade-green flame now raged within him, relentlessly destroying his very essence. Amidst the fading storm, Xiao Yan's figure emerged, his piercing gaze fixed upon Wang Chen, whose life still faintly flickered. As he met the grim countenance of Feng Zun Zhe, Xiao Yan's voice, devoid of emotion, echoed, Good indeed, you have truly astonished this venerable." Feng Zun Zhe rose slowly, his voice tinged with suppressed fury and murderous intent. With narrowed eyes, Xiao Yan addressed the revered elder. "I have fulfilled our agreement. Farewell." And with that, he turned and strode towards the arena's edge. Yet, just as Xiao Yan took a dozen steps, a hoarse cough interrupted his progress. It bore a sinister chuckle that sent shivers down his spine. Turning his head, Xiao Yan's chilling gaze fell upon Wang Chen, who was struggling to rise from the ground. "Do you still wish to persist?" Xiao Yan uttered, his voice as cold as ice. Wang Chen spewed out a mouthful of blood, his savage grin contrasting with the crimson liquid, making for a gruesome sight. "I must confess, I never imagined you would ascend to Duzong within a mere 3 months. It seems you profited the most from the Heaven Mountain blood pool. Would you not agree, Xiao Yan?" Wang Chen's mocking laughter stunned the audience. A wave of disbelief washed over countless eyes as they converged upon Xiao Yan, who stood frozen in the arena. The news of Xiao Yan's presence at Lightning Mountain sent shockwaves through the countless spectators outside the arena. They had witnessed his remarkable victory over Wang Chen, unaware of his true identity. To their astonishment, the enigmatic young man who had vanquished their esteemed elder was none other than Xiao Yan, the one who had recently ignited a fiery storm in the northern region. Even more incredulous was his audacity to venture onto Lightning Mountain despite his ongoing conflict with the Wind Lightning Pavilion. Many tongues wagged with disbelief, speculating if he had deliberately placed himself at their mercy. Within the VIP seats, Lai Zunji and his companions couldn't shake the shock that washed over them. They had also heard whispers of Xiao Yan's exploits. To single-handedly humiliate the Wind Lightning Northern Pavilion was a feat that commanded respect. Lai Zunji's finger rhythmically tapped on the armrest, each gentle rap radiating an aura of formidable pressure. Feng Kinger's expression shifted subtly as she studied Xiao Yan with a mixture of intrigue and arrogance. She yearned to cross swords with him, to salvage the reputation of her Wind Lightning Pavilion. Tang Ying's normally impassive demeanor was shattered, his voice tinged with astonishment as he questioned Xiao Yan's reckless audacity. Mu Qingluan's beauty held an undercurrent of shock as she realized the foolhardy nature of Xiao Yan's presence on Lightning Mountain. Amidst the tense atmosphere in the arena, Lai Zunji's piercing gaze turned towards Fei Tian, his voice laced with a hint of anger. "Fei Tian, this lowly human, is he Xiao Yan." Feng Zun Zhe, with his imposing stature, chuckled inwardly, sensing the simmering resentment in Lai Zunji's tone and discreetly withdrawing. Feng Zunji and Jian Zunji, standing to the side, were equally surprised, their eyes studying Xiao Yan curiously, remaining silent, recognizing that the matter concerned only the Wind Lightning Pavilion. Fei Tian, clad in his silver robes, rose hastily, his face contorted with unease. He had already endured Lai Zunji's reprimands over Xiao Yan, coupled with the mockery of his peers. Yet this issue, which had seemingly subsided, had been resurrected today, much to his dismay. With clenched fists beneath his sleeves, Fei Tian approached the arena, his eyes fixed upon Xiao Yan with menacing intent. "Boy, remove that mask from your face." The arena fell silent as all eyes shifted to Xiao Yan, aware of the brewing conflict between him and the Wind Lightning Pavilion. If his identity were confirmed, the young man's fate seemed grim amidst the overwhelming presence of Wind Lightning Pavilion experts. Xiao Yan's recognition by Wang Chen triggered a chorus of grim gazes upon him. Wang Chen's awareness of Xiao Yan's heavenly flame and its suppressive effect on his doubt key had left a lasting impression. As Wang Chen's savage smile met Xiao Yan's icy glare, Lin Yan approached with a long spear in hand. His solemn inquiry regarding a breakout attempt was met with a headshake from Xiao Yan, who acknowledged the low odds of their escape. With a decisive wave, Xiao Yan removed his skin mask, revealing his true face. "Why, Pavilion Chief Fei Tian, are you planning another attack?" he taunted. Fei Tian's face darkened at the sight of Xiao Yan's familiar visage. His furious laughter echoed through the air as his body vanished, leaving a deafening thunderclap in its wake. Xiao Yan's expression shifted as he sent Lin Yan back with a palm while activating the lightning globe beneath his feet. His body quivered, only to have Fei Tian materialize behind him, his lightning-clad hand claw piercing through Xiao Yan's chest. However, to his dismay, no blood flowed, leaving Fei Tian utterly baffled. Fei Tian's hand quivered, shattering the lingering afterimage. He pivoted slowly, his icy gaze resting upon Xiao Yan, suspended a few dozen meters above. A cold laugh escaped his lips. Mere months have passed since our last encounter, yet your prowess has surged. No wonder such arrogance has taken root within you. Xiao Yan's eyes locked with Fei Tian's, their depths frozen with contempt. Abruptly, a mirthless chuckle bowled forth from his throat. His gaze lifted to the impassive countenance of Lin Yan in the VIP seats, a hint of mockery lacing his tone. If Lin Yan truly deems my feud with the Wind Lightning Pavilion to be of such grave import, why do you not intervene personally? With your Dao Zun might, this insignificant self would perish with nary a chance to retaliate. Why resort to such convoluted tactics? Xiao Yan's words sent ripples of astonishment through the stadium. Many questioned his sanity, daring to provoke Lin Yan at this critical juncture. However, those more astute perceived the subtle brilliance beneath the surface. Lin Yan's status was unassailable, an elite Dao Zun, a towering figure in the Central Plains. His stature was worlds apart from Xiao Yan's, both in terms of renown and power. Xiao Yan's words had shrewdly maneuvered Lin Yan into a position where he could not attack Xiao Yan without sullying his reputation as a senior, abusing his advantage over a junior. In essence, Xiao Yan's gambit had effectively neutralized a formidable threat. While this current strength may not match that of an elite Dao Zun, against adversaries like Fei Tian, he possessed the means to escape with his life intact. This brat, Xiao Yan, truly possessed an exceptional cunning. Jian Zunji let out a soft chuckle, his gaze shifting towards Lin Yan standing silently beside him. There's no need for these tricks before this venerable self. I can apprehend you without needing to personally intervene, Lin Yan declared, his gaze fixed upon Xiao Yan with indifference. With the Northern Pavilion's Grand Elder taking action, there's indeed no need for Lin Yan to bother. After all, such underhanded tactics are commonplace for the Wind Lightning Pavilion. Besides, should the Northern Pavilion chief fail, the Western and Southern Pavilion chiefs will surely step in. Xiao Yan retorted with a laugh. Ha, there's no need for such sharp words, brat. The Western and Southern Pavilions have no intention of meddling in the Northern Pavilion's affairs. The burly Western Pavilion chief boomed with a thunderous laugh from his seat. Fei Tian's brow creased slightly at the sound of his laughter. The disparity between his status and Xiao Yan's was simply too vast. Back then, he had been forced to take action against Xiao Yan, who had managed to escape against all expectations, causing him much embarrassment. Now that he had regained his senses, he hesitated over what course of action to take. If he were to act while others held back, he would inevitably earn the reputation of bullying the weak, which the Wind Lightning Pavilion could ill afford. Fei Tian's decision to attack Xiao Yan was a difficult one. He knew that intervening without an order from Lin Yan would damage his reputation, yet he was determined to avenge the loss of face suffered by the Wind Lightning Northern Pavilion. As Fei Tian's immense strength surged, dark clouds gathered in the distance and thunderclaps echoed. Xiao Yan realized the gravity of the situation, but instead of fleeing, he chose to take a risk. Despite the vast gap in strength between him and Fei Tian, Xiao Yan pinned his hopes on an uncertain ally. His gaze turned towards Feng Zun Zhe, the enigmatic green-robed figure who represented an unknown variable in this perilous encounter. Would Feng Zun Zhe intervene, as his teacher had hinted, or would Xiao Yan be forced to face Fei Tian's wrath alone? With a deep breath, Xiao Yan called out to Feng Zun Zhe, offering to demonstrate something that might sway the outcome of this dangerous confrontation. Feng Zun Zhe was taken aback when Xiao Yan unexpectedly addressed him. He quickly plastered a grin on his face and responded, "My young companion, this matter seems to be between you and the Wind Lightning Pavilion. How does it involve my humble self?" Jibuzan, Feng Zun Zhe and Xiao Yan were not acquainted. Therefore, after meeting Xiao Yan for the first time, he would not antagonize the Wind Lightning Pavilion on his behalf, even if he had no fear of them. Xiao Yan flashed a grin. He removed the ancient black ring that Yao Lao had left him from his finger. Following that, he tossed it to Feng Zun Zhe. If he truly was as Yao Lao had described and worthy of his unwavering faith, Feng Zun Zhe's subsequent actions should shed light on the matter. Of course, if the outcome contradicted Xiao Yan's expectations, he would personally handle the future issues. Feng Zun Zhe's brow creased as he eyed the dark black object that was soaring towards him. As countless eyes watched, Feng Zun Zhe caught the item with his hand. He then cautiously opened his hand, revealing an uncommonly familiar dark black ring resting within it. As Feng Zun Zhe's gaze fell upon the enigmatic black ring, his hitherto faint smile abruptly froze, casting a chilling silence over the stadium. His form seemed to petrify, his eyes fixated on the ring's profound spiritual imprint. A tempestuous storm raged within him, its ferocity palpable. Despite his enigmatic silence, the tumultuous emotions roiling within Feng Zun Zhe were evident. After an interminable pause, his rigid body gradually softened as he gripped the ring tightly, sinking back into his backrest. His eyelids fluttered closed, and a voice devoid of any room for dissent emerged from his lips. No one should touch this young person.